I was saying, the loss of awareness of repressed emotions is the biggest culprit. You need to get past that hurdle before you can make more progress in your TMS healing journey. I have a pretty cool metaphor that I kind of thought of with this whole TMS thing. So think of it as like an avalanche. It obviously did not become an avalanche overnight, and it obviously, you needed a snowstorm, you needed the proper cold conditions, you needed a mountain. So imagine that mountain is like your repressed emotions, and the snow is your day-to-day life. One day you're hit with chronic pain. That's the avalanche, and it just comes crashing down on you. And in order to get out of it, you try to do all these things, like go to the doctor, and obviously go to the doctor if you don't know what exactly is going on with you. Like, make sure there's nothing like sinister happening. Rule out all the serious like diseases, like rule out the cancer and all that kind of stuff first. And then if it's pain, like your back hurts and you have some kind of abnormality, that's TMS. And this kind of work is going to help you. I have like discs in my neck that are herniating. My neck is apparently like on an angle, and that freaked me out when I saw that x-ray, and I thought that was why I was in so much pain in my neck, but it was actually TMS. And I can honestly say that I now do not have neck pain anymore after doing this work. So I could show a photo of my x-ray if you want, if you don't believe me, but that is the case, and this is the work that helped me. This is the work that's helped so many other people. There's so many testimonials out there. Like, there's other people who have YouTube videos with their success stories. Like, there's so much out there. So if you don't believe me, you might believe somebody else. I'm just one person, and I can't really talk for that long about my story because it's such a long story. If you saw my first video, that's like the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more. And yeah, so just think of this avalanche. You need to get out of the avalanche that has just crashed on you. And that could be your first instance of chronic pain. That could be after years of chronic pain, and now you're at the point where you just cannot take the pressure of all this crap on you. How are you going to get out of this avalanche? Well, let's be real here. You're not going to just jump out of it. That's impossible because you're buried. Like, how do you get out of something that you are buried under? You cannot just one day snap your fingers and you're out of the avalanche. You need to take it little by little, and eventually you're going to be able to dig yourself a hole to get out of there. And that's how it is with the pain. That's how it is with the chronic pain. So think of it that way. You're buried under a bunch of crap, which is all of your repressed emotions, and that's causing your chronic pain, and you want to get out of it. You need the desire to get out of it. And I've heard a lot of people say, like, oh, I would do anything to get out of pain. Like, this is just driving me crazy. If you're not willing to do this work, you're not willing to do anything to get out of this pain. We live in a society where we pop a pill and 20 minutes later we expect to feel better. That's not how this work is going to work. Like, you could pop a pill, you're going to feel better after 20 minutes, but your headache's going to come back the next day, or your backache's going to come back the next day, or maybe you're going to develop an ulcer because you took too many painkillers over a span of 4 years, like what happened to me. And that really sucks. And then what are you going to do? You can't take painkillers anymore. Then you're going to start getting injections. Then you're going to start like going to all these lengths to get out of pain, when your solution is this work, as crazy as it sounds. I would just challenge you to just give it a shot. Like, just try it and see what happens. And just be realistic about it and be real with yourself. Like, be honest with yourself. Don't try and sugarcoat your childhood experience, okay? Like, you could have had the best parents, the best well-meaning parents. You still learned to repress your emotions. It could have happened not even because of your parents. It could have happened at school. It could have been like one of your grade 1 teachers or kindergarten or whatever, you could have had a teacher that made you suppress your emotions for some reason, and that's how you learn to survive. Like, it's not, you don't really need to compare your childhood to somebody else and think that, like, oh, well, it wasn't that bad, so this doesn't apply to me, and my pain is real, and this girl on YouTube has no idea what she's talking about, and all this other TMS stuff is just a bunch of crap. Like, it's not, that's not how it is. Like, you don't, one of the personality traits is, like, you minimize your things. Like, you'll minimize all the stuff that you do. Like, I used to minimize my accomplishments. I used to minimize, like, oh, well, somebody else has it so much worse than me, so, you know, I can't complain. No, like, you obviously have chronic pain. You came to this video because you have chronic pain. There's no other reason that you would be here unless, I really don't know. I don't know why else you would be here if you're not suffering from chronic pain or some kind of chronic condition that you want to get rid of. You can't just minimize the fact that you suppress your emotions and so it's not that bad and you shouldn't be feeling like this, because then you're shooting all over yourself, as they say. Just accept it for what it is and be honest with yourself, and, like, just think about it. Like, oh yeah, that teacher was such a bitch and I had to suppress my emotions, and I was having a fun conversation with my friend and we were passing notes and the teacher called us out and I had to suppress emotions that way, and I was so pissed off as a kid, but I couldn't be pissed off because I had to pay attention in class. That's an example. Like, that's not necessarily what caused me to have chronic pain, but that's an example of, like, how a kid could literally learn to suppress their emotions. So it could literally happen in school. It could happen with your parents. I've described lots of situations where it could be your parents, could be your friends. Like, your friends could have been mean to you as a kid. Like, maybe you got bullied, maybe you got made fun of for, like, something, but you weren't necessarily bullied on a regular basis, but, like, they made fun of one little thing and then you suppress your emotions that way. Maybe you had emotions one day as a kid and you cried about something and you got made fun of for that, and then that's how you learned how to repress emotions. Like, it could literally be anything. It really doesn't matter. Like, it matters, but it doesn't matter what the cause is. What matters is that this is what happened. So I'm going to stop giving examples of how we could have suppressed our emotions, because I really hope that you get the point by this point. If you don't, I don't know. I really don't know what will make you get the point, but I hope, like, I hope I've been clear. So you need to do the work at whatever pace works, because I can't just give you a timeline on when this is going to, I can't give you a guarantee on when you're going to stop feeling pain. The guarantee is going to come with you doing it consistently and every day. Like, every damn day. You can't just not do it, or you can't just do it and then feel like, oh, I feel better. I've been doing this for a month. I am no longer having chronic pain. I'm not going to do this work anymore. Screw it. Because guess what's going to happen? You're going to get a headache. So the point that I'm at is I still do it. Maybe not every day. I try to do it every day. I will do it every day if I feel like there's going to be some stressful events coming that could trigger anything. And I do it at least every other day. Like, that's the promise that I've made to myself, because if I don't do it every other day, I will relapse. Like, I just relapsed a few days ago and there were triggers for it, and I had the biggest headache ever, and I think just because of all the time I've spent not having a headache, it was so much worse. So I can blame myself, and it is my fault because I did not do the work for a couple of days, knowing that I would be in a situation that would trigger myself. And maybe it doesn't even matter that I was in a situation that triggered myself. Maybe I just really needed to just continue being consistent with the work. So that's kind of how I learned my lessons of, like, oh, I need to just keep doing it, and it sucks. And part of your journaling could be you write about how much it sucks and you hate that you have to do this, because why do other people not have to do this? Why are there people who don't have chronic pain and they don't have to journal for however long a day? Like, this is annoying. This is such a pain in the ass. This sucks. Like, it is a massive inconvenience. But guess what? You're going to be inconvenienced and then you're going to feel so much better. So, like, what would you rather have? Would you rather continue suffering, or would you rather be inconvenienced and do the work and then eventually feel better? Like, think of it that way. And the sooner you start, the sooner you're going to start seeing results. And you can keep putting it off, but that's not going to help you. What's going to help you is just doing it. And that's pretty much all I can say. So basically, be honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself because you genuinely don't know, be open to the possibility that this could help you. And that is going to be your stepping stone into, I guess you could call it self-discovery, like at risk of sounding super lame, like that is your stepping stone to self-discovery. That could literally, the openness to trying something new, trying something that you don't think makes any sense, that could be what's going to help you. And yeah, I mean, I hope this helps. I hope this resonated with anybody. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to message me. Check out my website, letsgetyourshifttogether.com. Feel free to email me at letsgetyourshifttogether@gmail.com. Or connect with me through Instagram at Let's Get Your Shift Together. It's pretty easy to find. I've Googled it, Let's Get Your Shift Together, and like my stuff has popped up, so that should be relatively easy. And yeah, I hope to have another video in the near future about something TMS related that will hopefully help people. Have a great day.